Can you reject or disagree with Ibn Mas'ud's Quran?
First, Ibn Mas'ud didn't speak here, but you can reject anyone except the God and the Prophet. The Prophet said in a hadith that if you go
against what the Prophet says, are you rejecting the Prophet?
Of course.
If the Prophet tells you to take the Quran from Ibn Mas'ud and you reject Ibn Mas'ud, are you rejecting Muhammad?
So you're now saying that Ibn Mas'ud is...
I'm going to ask it again. Saeed Muhammad, you're on stage.
Yeah, hi, how are you doing?
How you doing? I'm pretty good. How are you?
Good. How's everything?
Man, excellent. Thanks for asking.
All right. You want to ask me? You want me to ask you? What do you want to...
Oh, well, I'm just saying that the Quran is not preserved. It's been corrupted. If you, you disagree with that?
I disagree with that, yeah.
Are you a Sunni Muslim?
Yeah, I'm a Muslim, yeah.
Okay. So why do you disagree with that?
Because to prove corruption, you have to prove that people after revelation changed the verses.
Mm-hmm.
And you can... I heard your argument with the previous caller.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't really prove. It just proves that Aisha, this was abrogated closer to the death of the Prophet.
Oh, do you have a reference that Muhammad abrogated the 5 sucklings? Because we see that that the 10 sucklings were abrogated.
Yeah, so the reference is the consensus of all the companions who put together the Quran verses.
All the companions didn't put together the Quran verses. You have different companions who had different Qurans and different Quran verses.
Yeah, the process of putting together the verses, it was a very strict.
I lost you. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah. I was saying the process of compiling the Quran, it required that several companions memorize the verses. Several companions.
That's not true.
In the order.
That's not true.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, the compilation of the Uthmanic manuscript took. What happened is they needed Hafsa's copy to then copy that, and then that's what they sent out. It didn't have anything to do with memory. They was not relying on memory with that. And then you have Ibn Mas'ud, who disagreed with that compilation because he was left out of the committee when he's one of the ones who Muhammad says that you have to learn the Quran from, and Uthman left him out of the committee.
Yeah, that's not accurate. When someone disagrees with a certain process, it doesn't mean that they disagree with what verses was put in. If you have a specific hadith for Ibn Mas'ud saying that the Quran that was compiled is wrong, please feel free to.
Can I show you that the people who learned from Ibn Mas'ud disagrees with what is in your Quran today?
Not people who learned from Ibn Mas'ud. Of course, there is going to be a lot of people throughout the years. They are saying,
no, not throughout the years. I'm talking about direct people who learned, who recite as Ibn Mas'ud. Like Ibn Mas'ud taught them the Quran, and then you have other companions like Abu Darda who comes to him and is also reciting it like Ibn Mas'ud, and even appealing to Ibn Mas'ud. So for the correct rendering of how to recite the Quran. And there's one instance where they go over this, and they disagree with the people who is reciting a verse differently, which happens to be how your Quran has it today. And so Ibn Mas'ud's camp and Abu Darda's camp disagreed with your Quran today. I can show you that. Oh, brother, what do you keep doing?
You can't hear me?
I can hear you now, but you keep dropping out or something.
I have no idea. I'm not even touching the phone. I'm just speaking over the earphones. I'll stop moving. Maybe when I move it.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah. So would you like to see the example of where?
Yeah, if you have an example of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud saying that there are mistakes in the Quran, yeah, please bring that.
Well, okay. So I'm going to show you them disagreeing with what your Quran has today. It's crazy, man. I put in the exact stuff and the words, the hadith that I want does not come right up. So I have to do it by other means. Let me see real quick. Give me a second. I've got this hadith saved elsewhere. All right. I believe it's in Bukhari, though. It's in Bukhari.
I think I know the ones that you're gonna. There are two hadith for Ibn Mas'ud. There are two hadith for Ibn Mas'ud that I'm sure you're gonna bring one of them. But
so this one is Sahih Bukhari 4944.
Okay, give me a second.
I'll put it on the screen so you can all look at it.
Bukhari. Say again. 49 what?
4944.
I'm getting a different hadith. 4944.
4944 on sunnah.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I could put it on the screen if you want to see it.
Just got it. Just got it now. Reading.
Okay. I said Abu Darda. I misspoke there. It's Alkama. All right. No. It is Abu Darda in this one. It's Alkama in another. All right. So here it is. Sahih Bukhari 4944. Narrated Ibrahim.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to have on this side, I'm going to have what your Quran says today and show you how they disagreed with this reading. Okay. Can I get this thing off? What is this? Stupid ads. Anyway. Okay. So, narrated Ibrahim, the companions of Abdullah bin Mas'ud came to Abu Darda. He looked for them and found them. Then he asked them, "Who among you can recite as Abdullah recites it?" They replied, "All of us." He asked, "Who among you knows it by heart?" They pointed at Alqamah. Then he asked Alqamah, "How did you hear Abdullah bin Mas'ud reciting Surah Al-Layl, the night?" That's chapter 92, verse 3. All right. Alqamah recited, "By the male and the female." All right. By the male and the female. Abu Darda said, "I testify that I heard the Prophet reciting it likewise, but these people want me to recite it, and by him who created male and female. But by Allah, I will not follow them." Right?
Yeah.
So the people that he's denying, and he's saying that they have the wrong recitation, that's not what he learned from Muhammad, is the same way that we find it in the Quran today.
So this is an example. That's why I said at the beginning we need the definition what you mean by corruption. And so when you have a verse, right? So first off, you know the 10 qira'at, right? And I heard you several times before. You're saying these are 10 different Qur'ans, but these are 10 qira'at, 10 different ways of reciting the Qur'an, right? And I know that in some of them, and I know I'm taking a long route, but I'm trying to answer your hadith here in a way that hopefully is going to answer all of these different, what you would call them conflicts. So I heard you using this one a lot of time. For example, بل عجبت ويسخرون بل عجبت ويسخرون. I was amazed, you were amazed.
I'm not even talking about that right now.
I know, that's why I'm coming back to this, but
Okay.
the point at the end is the different qira'at. Corruption means that I'm changing, there is a meaning that doesn't make sense. There is something that is wrong.
That's
But
not
when
just
you-
what corruption is.
Yeah, corruption. If you hear a sentence that gives you two different meanings, using the same sentence, it can give you two different meanings. Both are right. Both are consistent with the Islamic doctrine, with the Islamic belief.
Yeah, but which one was said?
That's a linguistic miracle.
Yeah, which one was said? Because just saying. So you're. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, go
okay.
ahead.
If you have, because you were saying that the companions agreed with what went into the Codex, what went into the Quran.
Yes.
I'm showing you that the companions did not agree. And here's one example.
What you brought in here is not a companion. That's someone who's
Abu Darda is not a companion. Abu Darda is not a companion.
Let me read it again. Maybe I.
Okay. Look, Abu Darda said. Look, we can read it from here. Abu Darda said, "I testified that I heard the Prophet reciting it likewise." So he's a companion of Muhammad. He learned directly from Muhammad. But these people,
Abu Darda is a companion. Yeah.
right? But these people want me to recite it, and by Him who created male and female. But by Allah, I will not follow them.
Yeah.
He disagreed with them.
Yeah. So the Prophet ﷺ taught the Quran in different styles. And he told us that you can read it with whatever style is easier for you. So
Brother, you're not listening to me. I'm addressing I'm sorry.
So
I'm addressing the direct point of you saying that the companions did not disagree about what went into the Quran, and I'm showing you the companions definitely disagreed. Here's one example.
The companion heard the Prophet ﷺ reciting the Quran in different styles, and everyone might have heard something different. That doesn't mean that there's corruption. To prove
Okay,
corruption,
but do you agree?
The meaning is wrong.
Do you agree that you have a companion disagreeing with what is in your Quran today?
No,
Wow.
I don't agree with that because to say that it's different than what we have today, it means that the meaning is not consistent with what we have today.
Okay, let's do this again. Abdullah recites it. They replied, all of us, yada, yada, yada. Then he asked them, how did you hear Abdullah bin Masud reciting Surah Al-Lail, chapter 92, verse 3? Alqamah recited, by the male and the female. That's completely different from, and by him who created the male and female. Those are extra words, swearing by a different character. Here he's swearing by the male and the female. Here he's swearing by him who created the male and the female. That's completely different. Now,
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not completely different. The meaning
it is completely different.
Who created male and female?
That's not the question. Who is he, brother? Who is he swearing? Who does the verse say he's swearing by? Is it by the male and the female, or is it by him who created the male and the female? Which one is it?
The creator of the male, the male and the female are miraculous creation of God. So whether you're swearing by the creation of God or whether you're swearing by God, it doesn't conflict with the doctrine.
So just really quick, if I swear by the male and the female,
not you. God can. You can't. You can.
Okay, so if Allah swears by Himself, is that him? Right. Is that him swearing? Is that equal to him swearing by the male and the female?
In the Quran, God swears by Himself many times. God swears by His creation many times.
Said, respectfully, my brother.
It's not the same. It's not the same. No,
Thank you. Thank you for that's all I need. I need direct answers. So it's not the same. Thank you.
It's not the same.
All right. So Abu Darda, he disagrees with one of the readings. He disagrees with the one that says by him who created the male and female, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Abu Darda, the companion of the Prophet, disagrees with what is in your Quran today, right?
He disagrees with the qira'ah that you have in the Quran today. But when you say by what
Go ahead. I'm listening.
قراءة. He disagrees by the. I thought you were gonna hang up with me.
No.
Usually when people say thank you like this, it means okay, you're done here. You're out of here. I'm gonna.
No. Go ahead.
All right. He disagrees with the qira'ah. He disagrees. He heard it differently. So my point again is that's why
before you move forward, is there any qira'at that records it the way that Abu Darda has it?
There are 10 different qira'at, and there is what's called anomalous readings. Anomalous readings mean that it didn't meet the standard of the double verification.
That's not what I'm asking. Do any of your qira'at that you have access to today?
I told you that.
Have it as Ibn Masud and Abu Darda had it?
No, because it didn't meet the double verification standard.
According to who? According to who?
According to the companions committee who
compiled what see that's my thing. Who did Muhammad tell you to learn the Quran from?
From the companions.
I'll tell. Look, here's Jamiat Tirmidhi 38110. Narrated Abdullah bin Amr. The Messenger of Allah said, "Take the Quran from four: from Ibn Masud,
that's right,
from Ubay bin Ka'b, from Mu'aid bin Jabal, and from and Salim, the freed slave of Abu Hudayfa." Now answer me this. Were any of these men part of the committee that decided what goes into that manuscript Uthman made up?
I honestly don't know. I can search it really
fair enough, but I don't it's okay know. The answer is no. The answer is no. None of these men who Muhammad told you to take the Quran from was part of the committee of what went into the Quran and what was not authentic. So when we have here, we have one of the men, look, Ibn Masud. We have one of the men here who recited the Quran, who had a reading of the Quran that's different from what you have today. And from what Uthman, I guess if you're saying that yours goes back to Uthman's manuscript, different from what Uthman had. And Ibn Masud was one of the ones that Muhammad told you to get the Quran from. Not Uthman, not Zayd bin Thabit, not Hisham, not none of those guys. So if we're going with what Muhammad said, if I go with Muhammad and he told me, take the Quran from Ibn Masud, then why in the world is it in your Quran today other than what Ibn Masud had?
Yeah, because so a couple of these companions were already dead by the time. So I mean, for Muslims, we don't really worship companions, and just because the Prophet said something about the companions mean that we have to put them in a higher status than everyone else. The Quran was recited and memorized by thousands of people. So and the consensus among Muslims is a much higher standard than taking it from one specific or two specific.
What consensus are you talking about? That's what I'm asking. Notice this. Is Muhammad just blowing smoke here when he tells you to get the Quran from Ibn Masud? Is he just blowing smoke?
Abdullah ibn Mas'ud is one of the companions whom you know. I know you're familiar with Ibn Kathir and all of these Mufassirin. They take a lot of the understanding of the Quran from Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. So it's not like his heavily involved and heavily used in Islamic literature. So but it doesn't mean that. And Ibn Mas'ud himself didn't speak in this hadith. That's someone who said, I heard.
Yeah, it's the people who are reciting it exactly like how Ibn Mas'ud, because they learned, they're direct students of Ibn Mas'ud. They recite it like him.
Yeah, but there are hundreds and thousands of companions. To think that not a single one is gonna miss one letter from another companion.
So notice this. Notice the man. I don't even know how to explain this. What you have to do, Saeed, to.
By the way, Ibn Mas'ud was. Ibn Mas'ud was in Iraq at this time, so he was
just really quick. If you go against what Ibn Mas'ud said in the Quran and how he recited the Quran, if you go against it,
yes,
are you wrong in the Quran?
No, I'm not wrong in the Quran. The Quran is the word of God.
So I got you. So when Muhammad says take the Quran from Ibn Mas'ud, he's blowing smoke. He's just talking out the side of his neck. This don't matter. This don't really mean nothing, do it?
So if I say like this is a good teacher, listen to him, and then you have 1,000 other teachers who said this is actually the way that we heard it, you are now obligated to listen to the one teacher that I pointed.
You are if Muhammad tells you, hey, take the Quran from this guy, but you got other guys disagreeing with that guy Muhammad told you to go to, which one is right?
Why are you fixated on Ibn Mas'ud? He mentioned 4 different companions in this.
Why
hadith.
am I fixated on Ibn Mas'ud?
Told you to take from him, bro. What?
Why am I fixated on Ibn Mas'ud?
There are 4 companions in this hadith that you have on the screen.
So I'm gonna ask it again.
Doesn't the Quran tell you to obey Muhammad?
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Okay, so are you disobeying Muhammad right now by saying that you don't have to take from Ibn Mas'ud?
Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, again, his work is the main source of tafsir for people.
Can you reject Ibn Mas'ud? Can you reject his reading or not, man?
Can I reject what?
Can you reject or go against Ibn Mas'ud's Quran?
I'll tell you this answer in the hadith that the Prophet said.
But I asked a straightforward question.
I'll give you a straightforward answer.
It's a yes or no, and you can expound. I need a yes or no, and then you can expound on your answer.
Okay, ask your question again.
Can you reject or disagree with Ibn Mas'ud's Quran?
First, Ibn Mas'ud didn't speak here, but you can reject anyone except the God and the Prophet. The Prophet said in a hadith that if you go
against what the Prophet says, are you rejecting the Prophet?
Of course.
If the Prophet tells you to take the Quran from Ibn Mas'ud and you reject Ibn Mas'ud, are you rejecting Muhammad?
So you're now saying that Ibn Mas'ud is.
I'm asking again. If Muhammad tells you to take the Quran from Ibn Mas'ud and you reject Ibn Mas'ud, are you rejecting Muhammad by default?
Muhammad mentioned 4 companions in this hadith.
You're trying to go ahead and enjoy the masjid, Saeed.